So after having done both assessments and then working with GrowthQuest to analyze why things are the way they were, I was able to get the tools I needed to manage because my job didn't change and my level 1 assessment certainly didn't change. So there's still that potential for conflict and frustration. But what I got out of the analysis and working with GrowthQuest was the tools to manage it. And the very first step of that was when I started feeling stuck or frustrated, I could immediately identify why. Is because my position, the assessment of my current position, is not lining up to the way I like to work. And I'm doing tasks, activities, or shadow work in the area of my job, but doesn't line up to me personally. The biggest tool was being able to identify, hey, I am in this space of frustration because these two assessments don't line up. That was the biggest problem for me in the beginning, was identify where the problem was. The tools I got is being able to now choose how to manage that. Now, if I just continued doing what I was doing, I would still be frustrated, but I'd still be 10 times better off because I'd know why I was frustrated and stuck. But now I also have the tools to figure out what I need to change and where that needs to change so that this feeling of stuckness and going down this path because I'm mismatched to my position changes, because now I can implement risk mitigation, all of the things you can think of to change a scenario or a position. So I have found I can delegate way better now, because when I start to work outside of my level 1 assessment, even though my position requires it, I can delegate those activities and free me up for the things that I'm really good at and really enjoy working. And of course, preserve my energy for the things that are really going to move not just my business forward, but me and my life forward as well. That was the first step. Then the second piece is whether I could or could not delegate some activities that were in conflict with my personal level 1 assessment, is being okay with that. One of the things that kept grinding on the guilt of multitasking and having to do work that isn't in alignment is feeling guilty about starting. Procrastination was a big problem for me. And in my business, speed of implementation is absolutely paramount. So what it helped me do is, even though I still have to work in certain areas that are not my natural abilities, I feel less guilty about just maybe grinding through a few of them. And I also feel less guilty about multitasking, because in the productivity world, most people say multitasking doesn't work, it's inefficient. And I've subscribed to that for most of my career, but then finding out that in my natural abilities that I love to start things and need time to think things through, need additional information, that in my personal assessment, that starting many things at once and working parts of different pieces all the time, which is quote unquote multitasking, was 10 times more productive for me than say the general productivity industry would suggest. So I ended up reducing my procrastination levels by a factor of 10, maybe even 20, which means I'm able to implement faster, even though my productivity habits go against the grain because they're more in line with my personal abilities and not the industry standards.